The new Shopware 6 Flow Builder is a great way for creating and changing business processes of your Shopware store without the help of a developer. Are you wondering how this is working? I will show you. Welcome ladies and gentlemen, it's Alexander from Shop Studio. Let's take a closer look on the Shopware Flow Builder landing page. In my opinion, the Shopware 6 Flow Builder is a great way to change business processes without the help of a developer, even in its early stages. And I want to explain it a bit more. With the Shopware 6 Flow Builder, it's possible to react based on events that happened in the store and to trigger custom actions afterwards. For example, we can say if a new order is placed, we can send an order confirmation email, and if it's the 100 order of a day, we can send a voucher by email as a small gift. And we can do everything without the help of a developer, only with the help of a drag and drop UI. And there are even more use cases for the Shopware 6 Flow Builder. We can, for example, segment customers and orders into specific categories through tags. We can create individual emails according to your tags, generate invoices, set the order status, send data to API based on third-party system. We can offer custom deliveries, automate internal business communications, and more. Let's see how we can do it by ourselves. We are now in the Shopware administration. And it's very important for the Shopware Flow Builder that your Shopware version is greater than 6.4.8, I think. In our case, the requirement is given. We now go to the settings, the shop settings, and on the right side, like every other setting too, we can find the Flow Builder. We click on the Flow Builder, and now we see this overview page here. And each entry, each row is basically a Shopware flow, which you can configure. But it's also possible to add new flows. And the Shopware flow is basically an event where we can attach custom behavior to. For example, shipment enters status cancelled, order enters status cancelled, newsletter sign up confirmed, or maybe a more classical example would be order placed. In our case, we want to modify the customer account register flow. So we click on it. And now we can see this screen here, and this is not very special. We can just see the name, we can change it, we can change the description, priority, and enable or disable the flow. But the real magic is here. This screen is the most important part because this is the place where we can change the behavior. On the top, we can see the trigger. For example, in our case, we react on the checkout customer register event. But it could be anything else too. For example, useful if you create custom flows. Now we can see the default action is we send an email, and not any email, we send the registration confirmation email. But let's modify it a little bit. We click on the plus sign, and now we can choose, do we want to create a condition? If something happens, we do this, otherwise we will do this. Or do we want to create an action? For example, send an email, add a tag, and etc. In our case, we want to add a condition. We click on add condition, if, and we select if is standard customer group. We can now define two actions. If this condition is false, we can add an action here, or if this condition is true, we can add another action. For example, is standard customer group. Let's say the action is we add a tag to the customer. And the tag could be belongs to standard group. We click on enter and we add the action. And the false condition, we can leave it empty, but there are of course more actions we can add. We can change the customer group, we can change the status. For example, that we do not allow to have other customer groups, for example. And if this is the case, we just make the customer inactive. Maybe a bit weird condition, but this is just for the tutorial. Alright, and here we go. This is our basic flow. We click on save. Let's try out the flow. We go to the demo store, and of course, to trigger the customer registered event, we have to create a new customer. So we go to the account page, we click on sign up and fill out the long form. Alright, we now click on continue. And we have created a new customer. If we now go to the customer, we should see, maybe in a new tab, that we have a new entry here. In our case, yeah, it's test, okay, and T is missing. And now we can see that we have added this tag, belongs to standard group. So, to repeat it, our new flow has triggered and no developer was involved, except me somehow, of course, but this doesn't count. This is how you can create custom flows, and you can of course modify basically anything. I think the Shopware flows are very interesting. For example, if you maybe are working with webhooks or REST APIs, for example, to send some information to other systems, ERP systems or PIM systems, or maybe to a newsletter provider, adding new tags. This could be very interesting for marketing. But the Shopware Flow Builder is very interesting in combination with Zapier. With Zapier, it's possible to connect different applications like Dropbox, Google Drive, MailChimp, and SendGrid and more. There are tons of applications supported. And it would be very interesting, for example, to say, if a new customer has been registered to your account, create maybe a specific CSV file in your Dropbox account, in a Dropbox folder. Zapier is by default not connected with Shopware, so maybe you have to add an extension via the store to trigger events with Zapier. But I think this is very interesting to connect those tools together. That's it for now. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel or leave a like or comment. We see us in the next tutorial. Bye!